Police say their best detectives are investigating the tasering of 95-year-old Claire Nowland, while revealing she was missing in the hour before the confrontation. Her family is continuing their vigil, their bedside vigil, with reports Claire's condition has deteriorated over the past 24 hours. The sickening incident has prompted another family to go public. 81-year-old grandmother Rachel Graham, who also has dementia, was left howling in pain after being double-handcuffed by 6 police officers in 2020. And a warning, the vision we're about to show you is pretty upsetting to watch.
No!
Just don't twist your wrist.
You're a big brute. You think you're funny. You... Oh! Oh!
Heartbreaking stuff. Her daughter, Emma Graham, joins us now. Emma, why were police called to your mum's nursing home?
Because she had taken a lanyard and an iPad from the nursing station, and they decided that she was dangerous. I'm not really sure why. The nursing home never really explained it to our satisfaction. But it sounds like it was a similar situation, but not quite as bad as what happened in Cooma. And 6 policemen in 3 cars were brought to the old people's home and came in and put mum in handcuffs. It's surprising.
And terrifying for your mum, who has dementia. We understand your mum weighed just 45 kilos at the time of her arrest. What did police say about the level of force they used on her?
Well, they didn't really say anything to us until we sued them. And even then, in their affidavit of defence, all they said was that they had done what was necessary and there was no problem. However, they did settle the matter, so they must have believed that if it had gone to court, they would have got in trouble. And my hope was that if we cost them money, it would mean that they did something differently, that they learnt something, or that they trained staff or something. But clearly, because of what's happened in Cooma, that never took place. And when I saw the press conference about the Cooma incident, and the police appeared to be trying to say, oh, this was a one-off, someone made a mistake, and then to say this very rarely happens, I knew that's not the case. And since my story came out in The Guardian, someone else who had a similar experience with their mother in dementia care has also contacted me. So I know we're not the only ones out there.
Just going back to your mum's ordeal, police said at the time she'd been aggressive, but is that any justification for her to be overpowered by police?
As I say, she was 5'2" and 45 kilos. It doesn't take 6 people to subdue someone. And of course, after they took the handcuffs off her and the police backed off, and the ambulance people who had been also called were nice to her, she was perfectly cooperative. This is why I think it's really important that people who have to deal with dementia patients have some training in how to do it, because there are ways that you can reassure them, you can calm them, you can distract them, you can just wait for them to lose interest in whatever it is they're doing. But if you're, I guess if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, and the police don't have the skills for this.
Emma, how was your mum throughout this process, going back to when this happened, and how is she doing at the moment?
Well, at the time, she was incredibly traumatised. She spent 6 weeks in St Vincent's geriatric ward, and her behaviour was so disordered that she ended up on very heavy psychoactive drugs. And every time she saw say the hospital security guards in uniform, she just went ballistic because she was so terrified. But it took many months for her to come back to a state of calm and contentment. And now she's all right now, but her condition has advanced a lot, as dementia does. But it's such a difficult disease for the people involved, for the families, and also for the staff. I've got a lot of sympathy for staff, but there has to be a better way than calling the cops into a dementia unit.
Emma, we really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.